Alright, I'm doing a video about my newest stove I just created. Inspired by Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Thought about buying it, but I thought I could probably make it myself, so I put a little effort into it and I came up with something I think is similar to what he had there. Not stealing your design, Tinny, just borrowing it right now. Haven't decided if I'm going to buy one or not. Let's see, I've got a notch in here somewhere. Little hardware cloth. This is that right now. Got a little foam on the bottom there, or felt, carbon felt on the bottom and top. Although the bottom doesn't seem to want to stay, so I may have to work on that. So, keeps it from burning a table, or picnic table, or whatever you're using it on. This one a little smaller. I need to make this hair size larger because, as you can see, it's a very tight fit. Alright, we're going to use it without the bottom foam right now. I'll have to figure out why that's not sticking. And you know what? The whole purpose of that was to put the foam on there and see if it would still hold hot. So I think I'm going to use that. Let's rid of it here. My fuel bottle. It's pretty windy out today. I don't know if you can see the leaves in the background there. But we got a lot of wind, so we'll see how this goes. I did this last night, and it's hard to tell when the fuel's getting close to the top. You just barely see that shine, and that's a lot of fuel in there. It's a whole ounce of fuel in there now. It's a pretty big design. I've got a Heineken pot here. A little worried about how that foam on the bottom is going to just make it too wobbly. I think I'm going to take that off for right now. It's falling off anyway. Gives us a nice sturdy pot stand then. Add my 2 cups of water. Usually more of a grease pot person, but I've been playing with a couple of the Heineken cans I had left. There's not many out there still, but hard to find. Go ahead and light that up. Got my little spoon that fits in my kit. Lid from Tinny from Mini Bull Design there. And because it's so windy out today, I may actually use my windshield that I've made out of just a piece of soda can that I've unfolded. And, well, wind's died down for right now, so let's just, and as I said, it's kicking back up. So I think I will put it on here. I'll try again. And again. A little dangerous with all the flame on there. There we go. I don't want to close it up all the way because it tends to then kill the flame a little bit too much. Maybe right there somewhere. Enough to air to get in. And still enough to let it burn. Now I haven't tried to put the silicone wrap on here yet. So I'm kind of curious as to how it's going to, that silicone wrap is going to do. Not sure. I do have that silicone tape on top of a fiberglass tape. It's not fiberglass wick. It's actually, is it burning? Yeah, it's burning good. Okay. It's going to burn out the one side there. I don't like that. I'm trying to open that back up a little bit. Or not. I always tend to burn myself whenever I'm doing this. I got my sippy cup lid there off of the peanut can, cut off the bottom. That'll pop right in the top of there and I can drink right out of this. It's getting hot already. And you can't see the flame at all that way now, can you? Let me see if I can turn it without burning myself too bad. You know what, I had this tissue in here for a reason. To try and make it so I can grab this. Of course, all I did now was close up the gap completely. So it's a little bright out still. It's hard to see the flame. I'll try and zoom in and see if I can get you. I can see the flame every once in a while. I'm not sure if it shows up on the camera though. Just a little quick zoom in here. There we go. But you can hear that wind whipping around there, and trying to blow it out there. I don't know if we're going to get any better picture. Yeah, you can kind of see the flame there a little bit. At least you can definitely see the heat rolling out of there. I'm going to back out. There we go. What the purpose of this was is I saw Tinny did his with a little bit on the bottom and a little bit on the top of his, I think he's calling it a choke hazard. You know what? We got a major malfunction here. I'm going to turn it off for a minute. Oops. I'm going to turn it off for a minute because we have a problem. First I'm going to take the fuel off. And then I'm going to carefully pull out my wick. You can see there. I'll bring it up a little bit closer, maybe you can see this. Not my wick, my gas line actually caught fire there. Now I will say, this is not from Tinny. This is something I tried to buy on my own from a hobby shop. And it does not appear to be as strong, or as I should say, fireproof or heat-proof as the wicks, I keep saying wick, as the gas lines that Tinny sells. So, the price difference was really not that much cheaper. I think they were $1 a foot, and I think Tinny sells it for $1 a foot. However, I didn't have to pay any shipping, which Tinny doesn't charge that much shipping anyway, but let me get you set up here again, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a little weird. Caught that sucker on fire and melted it right down. Granted, all the flame was coming out this front side where the wick was, so that probably got pretty hot right there. Didn't melt all the way through, which could have been a very good thing, because I may have had fuel just spewing out of it. Who knows? Yeah, I'll have to remember that and get a different type of hose for my gas line. Kind of burnt it right up there. So hopefully there's enough gas in there. I don't need to refuel it to get this thing boiling. It is not boiling too much on the other side. I think because I put this windscreen on here, I've caused the flame to only come out to one side. So I don't have any kind of metal tongs or anything to open that up, but let me see if I can find a stick. There we go. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it even, let's see. Oh, of course the wind came and started to shut it. Hey, stop that. There we go. Now the windscreen's on the right side, and the hole's covered up by the windscreen, and we're about out of fuel. Let's see if we got a boil out of that yet. Oh, we got lots of bubbles. No boil. Tempted to blow it out and put a little more fuel in there, but that would, yeah, because you see all the, I'm guessing you can see them, I'm not really sure. See all the little orange flurries across the top of it? That generally means you're running out of fuel. You get those orange flurries, it runs out of fuel. Could just mean that the wind's blowing over it. This thing holds a lot of fuel. Well, about an ounce. This is a 4 ounce. It wasn't all the way full either. So halfway would be right about there, and then halfway between those two. Yeah, about an ounce. So I don't expect an ounce to last longer than 10 minutes. And according to this, we're at 14, but like I said, we started. I don't know if we're going to get a boil. I think we're dying out too much now. Yeah, we're dying out. The flame's down below it now. Well, unless the wind's blowing, then the flame's down below it. Alright, so I definitely need to fix the hose inlet. What I think I need to do is cut a hole in the windscreen and let the windscreen be on the back side. And you know what else I noticed before I spun it? I'll show you after I get done and blow it out. This last piece of metal right here was actually sitting on the hose, pushing it down, because the hose I drilled was just a little higher than that. Yeah, it's definitely coming to a stop here. Yeah, we're not going to get a boil out of this. Well, I thought about putting a little more fuel in there. Lighten it back up real quick. So much for the refueling with the fuel line. That plan failed. At first you fail, try again. Is that how it goes? Just want to close that up a little bit because wind was starting to come around there. We're going to get a boil, even if it takes 20 minutes, because I want to see how long it's going to take to boil. Then we'll do it again. And what I was planning on, and I didn't mention this earlier, but this little piece here, Tinny had made a, I think he called it choke hazard, version 2.0 or something like that. I'm not really sure what he called it. And he put a piece on the bottom and top. And I like that idea because I use these on tables a lot, like a picnic table or whatever, when I'm camping. And what will happen is these stoves get really hot on the bottom side. And when they do, you get a scorch mark on a picnic table or something like that. So I've had to go and start putting some kind of rock or something down to keep them from scorching. And if you put a piece of metal, like a can lid down, like a priming lid, put that down, it still gets really hot and it leaves a mark. And a lot of times it's just because that's so hot that it's pulling the moisture out of that part of the table and it looks dry, and then once it's wet I think it probably fades away. But this, I thought this would really work well because it would actually lift. The heat doesn't travel through these things at all. You could hold your finger on the back side of this while there's flame on it and it wouldn't bother you at all. And it's 2 layers thick of this carbon felt. So I thought, well, that'd be perfect because that'll lift the stove up off the table enough to where no heat's actually hitting the tables or whatever I'm using it on. And the second benefit of this being on the bottom is then, if you didn't want to get a real hot flame, like this is a big flame, that's about 1.5 inches round. And not quite the size of a Moab, but pretty big. So, and Moab's one of Tinny's stoves, but not quite that big, but kind of big. So my thought was to flip the stove over, and I think he even mentioned this in his video, and then you have a smaller stove where you just put a little bit of fluid, you just pour it in. It didn't have the fluid, it didn't have the fuel filling line into it, it was the bottom of the stove, but the bottom of the stove has an indentation in it. So this kind of fits right in there. Enough to hold maybe 1/4 ounce of fuel, and it burns a decent sized flame on there. So you could get a coffee cup going, and then get done, flip your stove over, pour a little gas in here, and just let it simmer. Anyways, that was the idea behind it, but it didn't work so well. I'm going to fix that hopefully, and we'll have something working. So this is not going to boil, is it? Oh, maybe it is boiling now. I see the steam coming out. Yeah, okay, we got a boil now. Got ourselves a rolling boil. I don't know exactly when it came in. I didn't see the steam come out, so I'm going to try and show you what we got here. Nice rolling boil. Of course, the camera says 18 something, so we'll see how long that actually took. And I guess I've been zoomed in that whole time, so we won't see how long it took. So this is not going to boil, is it? Oh, maybe it is boiling now. I see the steam coming out. Yeah, okay, we got a boil now. Got ourselves a rolling boil. I don't know exactly when it came in. I didn't see the steam come out, so I'm going to try and show you what we got here. Nice rolling boil. Of course, the camera says 18 something, so we'll see how long that actually took. And I guess I've been zoomed in that whole time, so we won't see how long. What I would do when I'm done eating and everything else is then I'd wipe the inside of my can out. It's a bit hot still, so I'd wipe the inside of my can out. And I'm just showing you, but it's still hot. And then I'd place all of my stuff. Ooh, that sucker warped a little bit under the heat, so we'll just bend it back in. My windscreen is just a soda canister. Then I'd take it all. It's hot still. And I'd drop it back down here. Now that's really hot, but I'd drop this down the side of it. I'm not going to do that because it's so hot right now. Take my plastic lid. Not hot enough so it'll burn that. Except I was supposed to put this windscreen in first. I take the windscreen, put it on the outside of this. It's so well around the outside of it. Drop that in. Then drop that in. Then this fits right along side. Actually, I took this out. Put that down and drop that down, and this then fits. There's the indentation I was talking about. This would actually sit right in there like that, and then you could use that to have a small fire for just simmering. But that then fits down inside there. Little spoon that you were either eating or stirring or whatever you do with. Your gas line would have gone in there had it not melted. Your lighter would go in there. I'm just going to squeeze it in the top here. This I leave out. I'll show you why in a second. This I pop down in there. This I pop on there. This I lay across the top of here. That all goes inside of one of these, what size is this? 4-cup, 32-ounce container, microwave safe. It even shows cup marks on the side, 1, 2, 3, 4 cups. So that's really nice to have our 750mm, 500mm, 250mm on the side. And then this, and I'm sure you've seen these a million times, our Schnucks, Dierbergs, and other grocery stores right here have them. And if you roll it on there right, oh, I forgot. To make this one fit, you have to turn the lid upside down because that post sticks up. And that's right, this goes on the side and just kind of fits on the side. I think I'm probably out of time here. Did I run out of time yet? I'm close. And then squeeze that on and just seal it down. And that's your camp stove. A little bit of rattle, but you could always throw another cloth in there to simmer it down. Alright, thanks, and we'll do another test, maybe a different gas line. We'll try and get that piece of felt to stay in the bottom and glue it in, and we'll do a simmer test too.